Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you're a first-time viewer or a newer subscriber, I hope you decide to stick around. If you have put up with me for a long time, I appreciate that long-term support. I'm actually outside doing some smoking today. I've got a whole chicken and sweet potatoes and white potatoes on there, and things are going well other than the weather. It was supposed to be originally 62 today and sunny. Then that changed to 55 and overcast. Then it changed 55 with a chance of rain in the afternoon. Well, this morning we actually had snow flurries and rain and wind, and then we had some sun. Now it's back to rain. You might hear it on the shelter overhead here, but ridiculous, crazy weather. I was just out here thinking about perspective with the whole COVID-19 thing, and wanted to chat a little bit about it. First of all, let's say this. Obviously, COVID-19 is real. It's killed humans, and I'm not trying to devalue those lives lived or the deaths. It's a horrible thing. But when you put it in perspective, when you really think about the number of people who have passed away from COVID-19 compared to flu or pneumonia, which are transmitted, from one human to the other, they're actually going to come in under those numbers. And those are with inflated COVID-19 numbers. I'm not going to get into all that, but the CDC, the bureaucrats in Washington, D.C., as well as states, are inflating the numbers. They're lying to us, which is nothing new out of the government. But that said, let's take a look at things that aren't transmitted, from person to person, but yet are horrible and kill a lot of people. And that is kidney disease. At about 50,000 people a year. Drugs are about 85,000 people a year. Cancer is about 500,000. I think just lung cancer. I looked up all of these numbers, and it's just astounding to see liver disorders like 38,000 a year. Accidents, 145,000 a year. I think car accidents are like 40. So it's crazy to see those numbers and then see the media and the people that are on edge every time the media speaks, as well as politicians and these globalist doctors that tell us how bad things are and how dire. If you're concerned with just the sheer numbers, there's no reason to be. Not when you take those numbers into consideration. You're welcome to look those up. I may have been off a little bit on those, but the point is that COVID-19 is nothing close to what they pretended like it was going to be or what they're still saying it is. This is about control at this point. It's about our constitutional rights being stripped, and it's sickening. It's really sickening to witness people give up their rights all in the for the sake of safety. During a portion of the Revolutionary War, smallpox ravaged the original 13 colonies, which had about 2.5 million people. Smallpox killed 1/3 of the people that contracted it, including 5% of the population. 125,000 people died of smallpox during this one segment, 1776 to like 1779, something like that. 5% of the population. Today's numbers, 5% of our population of 325 million would be 16 million people. So perspective matters. When you really consider the fact that if we had a 5% death rate, I would be concerned. But as of right now, when we put numbers into perspective, COVID-19 is nothing like what they would have you and I to believe. Again, that's not to devalue, to take away from the deaths. I realize it's real. My wife's first cousin and her husband had COVID-19. They're recovering. She actually has kidney problems. She's diabetic, all kinds of health problems, and she survived. Her husband has had some heart issues in the past, in his 40s, and is on the way to recovery and actually doing well. So I don't live my life in fear, guys. I told you, I'm not afraid of death. I know that being a believer, and understanding where I go after death helps with that. But I'm at peace. I'm not concerned whatsoever, and I cannot wait. In about 2 hours, this whole chicken and these potatoes will be ready for me and my family and my mother and mother-in-law to enjoy. Thanks for watching, everybody.